Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So it's, time for more camp battles. In theory this shouldn't take too long, but we'll see how terrible I play. Pretty much. Even though they're new stages, I don't think they'll be too difficult. So, we'll just talk about Altina a bit. Actually don't have as much as I was expecting to talk about her, or this talk regarding Altina, I guess if you want to call it that way. You're sure, she has Ragnell Alondite, which is a 10 might distant counter, and I don't even know what to call it anymore, brave weapon, because brave weapons usually get reserved for player phase jargon, like Brave Sword Plus and stuff. That was just me being silly. But, I'll just call it a brave weapon, why not? Her stat spread's pretty decent, I guess. She has a 42 HP, 38 attack. You probably know this by now, but 20 speed, 30 defense, I believe, and 36 res or something of that nature. So, pretty alright bulk overall. The HP is not great, and that's, I guess, something to keep in mind as she develops into the Astra season meta. It's definitely an interesting thing to only have 42 HP, and an inability to gain really much more HP, because she can't be blessed for more HP. Which definitely limits her capabilities, but of course she does buff her attack during Astra season, so definitely useful for folks who like to use Vantage, for example, during Astra season. Vantage is pretty decent in Astra season. It's mostly the hardy bearing units and cav lines and fire. There's a lot of anti-Vantage shenanigans, but it's still a pretty strong strategy considering I use it during Astra, and well, it's super suboptimal because I don't have the extra HP for the bulk, but it's good enough most of the time. And honestly, my strategy is not that strong for Astra. It just does not work. Your light season strategy is absolute garbage when your carry unit literally absorbs every debuff. I don't know if people noticed that in my arena or ether raids videos, but actually absorbs chill defense. Chill attack, chill speed, chill defense, chill res, bright shrine, and dark shrine. It's kind of funny. And even so, of course, people don't actually put that many chills and debuffs on their defense. Only mostly the higher tier defenses do. Or if they don't, it's like lull skills and stuff. So, yeah, this has definitely diverged from an old talk about Altina, or rant about Altina, to ether raids in general. But back to Altina, I think her A skill is Escher's Chosen, which is IOT Shield and Attack Defense solo, but it also works if she's just adjacent to, I believe, dragons or beasts. So, and that's pretty decent for an A skill. Definitely better than just, some of the things people use in A slots, like just distant counter or whatnot. Definitely has utility there. And of course she comes with Vantage and Attack Defensive, neither of which are that big, but of course it just helps the newer players from having to put in skill inheritance. She just comes out of the gate pretty decently built, and so I expect people to be running, when she's bonus, she's gonna be everywhere, because having that, people are probably thinking the extra attack, that's a lot of extra potential. But yes, all the potential is actually in the gained HP. Because she gets 52 HP then for the average player. Of course, higher for the whales, like 56 or even 61 if they summer support her, and 62 of flowers. You know, she can actually get a respectable HP stat. And her overall bulk's pretty decent, which unironically is kind of bad as well for the people who decide to run units like Legendary Azura on their defense regardless of the season because they don't really care. It's pretty worthy to note. Gosh dang it! It's pretty worthy to note that Altina's res can get too high to the point where the fortress, like a fortress defense 6 Legendary Azuras or whatever, actually will still dance because she takes too little damage from them. That's why, I don't know, the Ether Raids meta for Vantage is definitely quite interesting for sure, because of course there's the classic glass cannon Vantage folks who just get a really large attack stat and then they just go ahead and go sweep stuff. They can't really take another hit once they're in Vantage range. Then there's the folks like me who try and engineer like semi-Vantage hybrid tanks kind of deal, where you still have a pretty good attack stat, but if you can actually, you know, maybe tank another hit or 2 or 3 or so. If you use stuff like Vantage Noontime like I do, maybe you can even tank entire teams simply because you invested a bit into your bulk. And so now, not only is it a little easier to get into Vantage range, you usually survive better, because realistically speaking, one-shotting or one-round KOing every unit in Vantage range, you know, it's technically possible, but with the Ether Raids constraints, like usually you can only have one adjacent unit. I mean, not adjacent, one unit within 2 spaces on good setups, because otherwise your buffers are gonna get sniped likely. I don't know what I'm doing here on casual, but I'm definitely looking like a casual Kappa. Yeah, back to Altina. So, you know, while she's bonus, definitely will be scary. I do not want to see any fireballs with her, but I know I will. And it's probably going to be just straight up, I have to sack units or straight up lose matches, because my team can't really handle Altina. I mean, I have Nino who can barely live hits from like, during light seasons, he's already struggling to tank units. I mean, red units with like, I don't know. What I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what Nino's bulk is. I cannot call off the top of my head. But, yeah, we're just gonna say she's already struggling to live, you know, one hit from like 80 attack red units. Sounds dumb, but of course, when you factor in a double, and Nino only having 42 defense max, it's not that much bulk at all. Especially since I don't have an Astra Mythic Hero. I'm stuck at 46 HP, so 42-46 is absolute garbage for trying to live any red unit twice that has some decent amount of attack, you know, because they only have to do 23 a hit, which is only 65, so they only really realistically need to have like 55 attack to double and kill that, which is why I do so much worse during Astra season, because it's so much harder to tank folks. And I kind of feel like Altina is going to be the same way. While she's bonus, she'll be perfectly fine. She'll have extra bulk, she'll be able to lift things because she has the extra HP. Getting into advantage should not be a problem, even if you buffer up her bulk a lot. Like, I don't see much issue with that. Of course, there's stuff like Ophelia during Astra season that's always a problem. Cavline's not great matchup for Altina. is people do just, in some cav lines, they'll just spam archers. Of course, you know, she has a Sheri's Chosen, but if you actually think about it, you know, if there's like legendary alms or whatnot on defense, and I imagine there are going to be a lot of them on defense, like Hardy Bearing or whatever, he still hits like a truck even though he doesn't have effective damage against Altina. So having that HP as a bonus unit, super important. I can't emphasize that enough. It allows her to do a lot more things than she would normally be able to do only with 42 HP. But yes, at the same time, if you make her too tanky, then she can't get into vantage range and awkward things can happen. But most of the time, if you know what you're doing, that shouldn't happen. I don't know, Altina's definitely a solid unit, like for generally speaking, looking at her stats, you give her just like toss on fear stance seal. She doesn't even have to be plus attack, and she already has like, I don't know, what is that, 66 attack enemy phase, and that's not including any field buffs if you want to add on to that, or you know, maybe a Brave Lucina or whatnot to proc twin blades every round kind of deal. So she's definitely pretty strong in that respect. She'll definitely sweep teams that already get countered by Vantage, but that's nothing special because they already get memed on by Vantage. So Altina is just an extra unit people can have to destroy people's teams. And it's like, but realistically speaking, I don't think she's going to be that overpowered. Like against my defense, sure, she's. I just completely looked away from my phone there. I don't know what I was doing, but she's just gonna completely wreck my defense. Like if people actually lose units while she's bonus against my defense, I'm going to be sad. Like you can probably beat my team with a minus attack Altina. No joke. You just. I guess the real way someone could probably screw up is, I don't know, buff her up and then throw her under Panic Manor to get panicked, I guess. That's still stretching it. that probably would do it, but you have to try pretty hard to get Altina to not murder my team. It's like Sonya, sure, she's got Hardy Bearing, sure, she has Dark Excalibur, but at the end of the day, she's not actually doing that much damage, so while Altina's bonus unit, she'll literally eat that up. And Sothis and company, just not going to do much damage. Because, you know, especially if they buff up her bulk, you know, we're not doing damage. We're not doing damage. And so, that's always a thing to consider. But I don't know. She's a solid unit again. But there's really not much to say about her. She's not gonna like break the game because, well, she's red. So blue units definitely can tank her for sure. Thrasir, however you want to pronounce her name, is an anima mythic hero that buffs defense. So units with people with 2 of her can have plus 10 defense and plus 10 HP on their units. So, you know, unsnipeable healing, well, not unsnipeable, but super hard to snipe healing towers, can really help mitigate like bolt tower shenanigans or whatnot. So it's like you can't really rely, at that point you're kind of like using her as a Kronya, I don't know how to pronounce her name either. I don't know, she's solid. So like if you think about it, 66 attack, you assume the generic unit has, I don't know, 35 bulk or whatever. That's 31 times 2. That's a big strike. And if you have Brave Lucina, you get some more attack. You can proc Twin Blades in one round. Her res is pretty nice. You know, she'll get extra at least, 14 damage or something off of Twin Blades with 36 res. So, you know, she can definitely pack a punch against the average unit. But if we're talking about ether raids, there's HP inflation, stat inflation, there's Hardy Bearing, Fire Sweep. I mean, archers still can murder her. I think people, that's a really big thing people are not realizing, I don't think, is that just because you have IOT Shield, or for like Armor Swollen Shield, doesn't mean you're invincible to them, to archers or armor slayers respectively. Like, you can still lose to them by simply not having enough stats. And I feel like that's going to be the case once Ultina's not a bonus unit. As well as she's a bonus unit, I think the HP is going to definitely help her a lot in those kind of matchups. But of course, there's stuff like Hardy Bearing, AoE Ophelia is pretty standard stuff. You gotta be able to deal with that. Of course, she can't run Null C Disrupts and Vantage. I mean, even if she could run Null C Disrupts, you still need Vantage, so not really much of an option there. So, you know, healers and Fire Sweep and whatnot, still a big deal. So she's definitely not unstoppable during Astro season. But against the trivial defenses, if you want to call them trivial, you know, it'll be a free win for you if you're using Ultina and have a general idea of what you're doing. So, but yeah, Hardy Bearing's definitely going to hurt her a lot. Infantry Pulse Team's probably going to hurt her a lot. I don't know if people are going to actually like throw Pulse Smoke or something on her. Not really sure if that's worth it, but you know, Ultina's going to be decent, of course. And again, I reiterate, I do not want to see her on defense in like a Fireball. That just completely memes me, especially if there's like two of them, and it's like I don't know. People could do like a Goad Flyer's Ball to get even more attack, as if Goad Flyer Balls didn't get enough attack, or they could use it with Ward Flyers so they actually have some more kill potential. Like, the possibilities of using Ultina on defense, unironically, could be pretty scary for people like me. For the average player, I mean, let's be real, not going to be too big of a deal, I don't think. But I'm definitely scared about what people could pull off with her on defense. Because of course she's a flyer, you can combo with like ground orders and whatnot. All the weird shenanigans you can do in Ether raids. That's unironically the main thing I'm scared about. I don't care if people trash my defense with her, that's pretty expected. Most Vantage strategies can murder my defense if you know what you're doing, at least. So, anyways, that's enough ranting. That's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!